Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It is September 27th. You're listening and watching the Spin Rundown. Got a special guest today. We have Morgan Bungerz. Did I pronounce that right?
Nailed it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nailed it.
Yeah, man. I had somebody reach out to me, I guess maybe yesterday or the day before, can't remember, and said, "Hey, there's a little bit going on with Morgan, and he's a good dude and been around the CrossFit space for a while, and should reach out to him and find out what's going on." And kind of found out that you're in a little bit of legal dispute with CrossFit, and definitely want to get into that. But I want to kind of start out first about kind of just your background and what's led you to this point. So, kind of first of all, where are you right now, and how did you get into CrossFit?
Absolutely. So right now I'm in my garage of my house in Charleston, South Carolina. It is the studio for running Gym Bungerz out of our live classes. I started CrossFit way back in 2009, like even before Reebok, pre-Bok. Started in high school. Ended up opening an affiliate in my college. It was like a college club. Went on to intern and eventually be the head coach at CrossFit New England.
What college did you start in an affiliate?
Super small school, Hobart and William Smith in upstate New York.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I got accepted there, realized there was no CrossFit gym there, so I kind of took matters in my own hands on that regard. And then, CF&E after that, was there for a couple of years. And then during the pandemic, we were forced to go virtual. Everyone decked out their home gyms with the equipment. The Zoom stuff was actually working pretty good. So I took a leap of faith. And for 3 years now, we've been running 100% virtual CrossFit classes over Zoom. And it's been going great.
Gotcha. So you were at CrossFit New England then, working with Ben and the whole crew there?
Yeah.
So
I was Katrin's judge in the Open and the head coach by the time I ended up leaving there. So it was a good time at CF&E.
Yeah. And so then in 2020, at some point you decided to kind of jump out, go on your own and create Gym Bungerz.
Yes.
So interesting story, I think, a little bit about how you came up with the name and kind of what got you to do that.
Yeah. So my dad, J.I.M. Bungerz, Jim Bungerz, passed away from ALS in 2008. If you know anything about ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, it robs you of your ability to use your muscles. You go from a healthy, active person like my dad was to bound to a wheelchair, unable to do anything. Like eating even was a gargantuan task. So to see my hero essentially lose his abilities, I realized how important my abilities were. And it really made me want to appreciate what I can do, celebrate my abilities, and maybe really want to help other people celebrate their abilities. So when I found CrossFit very shortly after losing my dad, it immediately clicked. Like this is it, right? This is me getting to do what I want to do, celebrate my abilities, and I can help other people do it. This is awesome. So that's what led me to really dive headfirst into CrossFit, is that why of like, we have these abilities and we shouldn't be taking them for granted. So I love, like, yeah, that's our tagline. We get to do this, right? All of our members have posters all over the back of their gym walls. We get to do this because even during like really crappy workouts, you remind yourself that there's someone who would love to have the opportunity to have 100 burpees left to do, or love to have sore hamstrings after a tough workout. So, and then this opportunity came up to do my own thing. It only made sense to do a fun play on words and to say his name every day, even though we're saying GYM Bungerz. It's still calling him out and paying homage to my hero.
Got it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so I guess when you left CrossFit New England, they were doing stuff virtually. And you created Gym Bungerz around what time in 2020?
October 2020 was our start.
Okay. And then was at that point, were you like, what level certifications did you have? I mean, I assume you probably had at least obviously L1, but I mean, did you get additional on top of that?
Yeah. I made it all the way up to level 3. And actually during the pandemic, it was pretty hard to do all the continuing education credits. So unfortunately that lapsed, but I'm still a level 2 certification.
Okay. And then you affiliated at that time in October of 2020?
Yes, in October.
Okay.
So we kind of are trying to be the best, maybe not the only, but the best virtual CrossFit gym.
Got it. So how have you marketed and attracted people to kind of do, and what is a virtual CrossFit gym? Like, what are you doing that may be different than an online program?
Awesome question. A virtual CrossFit gym, at least what we try to create, is literally a copy and paste of what you are experiencing when you go to a brick and mortar affiliate. Other than the fact that I'm talking to a screen and you're looking at a screen as I'm talking to you, nothing else changes. People sign into the meeting. We like kind of chat a little bit for the first 5 minutes. There's a warm up. There's a whiteboard brief. We discuss the workout. We practice the movements. There's a bathroom break. The most important part of any class is there's a bathroom break. We do a practice round, and then we hit the workout. I am coaching the entire time, cheering you on a lot, but also seeing and correcting. I can see enough of the athletes where I can remind them what movement is next and make sure they're doing it correctly. And then we hang out afterwards. Sometimes we're on the Zoom 15 minutes after the workout is over, just hanging out. And that was very commonplace at CFNE as well. The 11:30 class would have to tell the 9:30 athletes to get out of the way because they were chilling after the workout for an hour. So what I really intentionally did was copy and paste that in-gym, in-person experience and just made it that much more convenient to access wherever you have an internet connection.
Yeah, so you're getting go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, and it's different than like an online program. We've had a lot of members say this, like they're tired of going over their phone to see what the next warm-up drill is and have to do on their own. We're taking over all of the emotional labor, right? If you can sign on or hit play on one of our on-demand recorded videos, you don't have to think. You could just follow along and you're going to get your best workout.
Got it. And so you've been affiliated for basically almost 3 years now. And what I was told is that you received a letter from CrossFit. I don't know when that was. I mean, can you kind of share what's happened and
Absolutely.
what's going on with that?
So a month ago, Morning Chalk Up did a little article on us, which was awesome. Great publicity. A week ago, we got a letter from CrossFit headquarters legal department saying you are in breach of your affiliate agreement. You need to stop using the word CrossFit. And super bummed about that. Obviously, I'd love CrossFit. And what they said was in the affiliate agreement, they don't support virtual. That is not something they stand behind. It's in the same clause as like you can only have one location. Like when you affiliate for one location and that's it. That makes complete sense. Understand that. But now it also includes unable to do virtual. And kind of came as a shock to me. We've been going for almost 3 years. This Sunday is our 3-year anniversary. But now they found out what we're doing, and we're kind of in hot water with them. So obviously, I understand if the rules are the rules. Unfortunately, I will have to walk away from CrossFit. Nothing's going to change from what we're doing, and we're going to give people their best workouts. But what really concerns me as someone who loves CrossFit is I think this is a huge opportunity for CrossFit to kind of do something awesome in the virtual space. And I'm here to hopefully help them understand that, hopefully.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess when you did the affiliation application, I mean, you were pretty upfront with what you were planning on doing, right?
Absolutely. Spelled it out in my, you have to write a letter essentially when you affiliate, like what you're going to do, what are your intentions, spelled it out there. Every year when I do the insurance through CrossFit RRG, I'm like, hey, I'm a virtual affiliate. Does this affect my insurance anyway? Like, do you guys know that? Do you need to change anything? And every year they say, no, you're cool. You're good to go. Carry on as you were.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess publicity got out there. I mean, you got Morning Chalk Up feature and then immediately got that. What have you done in response to this? I mean, are you planning on fighting? Or are you going to, like, what are you trying to do with this?
I don't want to say fight. Definitely don't want to not make a confrontation, but problems are just an opportunity for solutions. And just because it's in the affiliate agreement isn't necessarily a good enough reason for me. It's like when your parents say, because I told you so, like it's not a good enough reason. So I would love to discuss with somebody at headquarters why no virtual, what are the reasonings for it, and maybe my 3 years of experience can change their mind, because like what we're doing is awesome. I love the connection I made with my athletes, the convenience. We've actually, kind of a tangent, a lot of our athletes have had to learn about rest days, because in the past it was like, oh, there was traffic, couldn't make it to the gym, rest day. Oh, the plumber's coming, can't make it to the gym, rest day. But now it's so convenient. They would go like 24 days in a row, like, oh God, I gotta figure out when I'm gonna take a rest day. This is so convenient. I gotta teach myself to slow down and stop every now and then. So super convenient. So what I would like to do is hopefully have a discussion with CrossFit, and whatever they would like to see happen after that, I'm happy to partake in.
Yeah. Question here from Wad Zombie. How many members do you have? And like, are they just in the States? Or are they across, the globe?
Yeah, we are international. We're hovering around high 70s of members. We have overseas. So like people from England zoom in to our 12:30 when they're after work at their 5:30 time, which is pretty fun. We got Canada, got a bunch of people overseas, but mostly in the States for sure.
Got it. And so you got this letter, to just basically point out to this clause and say that you have a certain amount of time until you have to, I don't think you can fit a whole affiliate in that garage that you're standing in right now.
No, it is just big enough for me. Yes. So the first communication said like CrossFit, or Jim Bungerz isn't an affiliate, so you got to stop saying Jim Bungerz is CrossFit. I said, oh no, I'm sorry. Our affiliate name is CrossFit Get Up. The doing business as name is Jim Bungerz. I couldn't affiliate under Jim Bungerz. So sorry for the confusion. And they said, oh no, you can't do virtual. That's what this is all about, is no virtual. So for their clarification, that came through 2 days ago. And this is kind of my first step in trying to initiate a talk with headquarters somehow.
Did they say why you can't do virtual?
They haven't said why, and I'm trying to think why. Like maybe it's a fear of like quality control on the product or something. But I can't think about why they wouldn't be in support of that, because I know the CEO just said they're trying to reach like 30 million people in the next few years, and something we always talk about is like the time that it takes to get to a gym. Like it's an hour class, it's at least 15 minutes on either end, so that's 90 minutes, probably more like 2 hours for most people to fully get their workout in. Most people don't have that time. It's a lot of money, right? $200 plus, depending upon where you live. Most people don't have that option for money. We're significantly cheaper and half the time, if not even less than that. So we're just trying to, like, again, it comes back to I love CrossFit. My why is celebrate your abilities. CrossFit is my avenue to do that. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to do that with me. And I'm just trying to make it as convenient as possible.
Have you, like, is your membership, right? Like you have 70 across the world. Like, are they coming from CrossFit gyms? Are they new to the CrossFit space? Like, have you lost any of your members, that you've had online there and said, hey, I do want to go like to a brick and mortar at some point? Like, how has that kind of flow worked out for you?
Yeah, totally. I would say we're like 70% CrossFitters who like have a barbell at home and are just looking for that camaraderie of someone else to suffer with. 30% are like friends or neighbors or complete random people who heard about something cool, thought that this would be a very low risk way to try CrossFit instead of going to that big, loud, scary warehouse with like barbells dropping and stuff. So yeah, like your living room is a much safer space. So we do have some newbies, and it's awesome to kind of take them through that process of CrossFit through this medium. Really fun. We have totally but graduated people on to brick and mortar gyms, especially towards the beginning when the pandemic was at its height, and then kind of cooled off a little bit. People were like, hey, this was great. Thank you for keeping me fit for 6 months, for a year. My gym is opening up. I'm going back. And that's honestly, I thought that was going to be our main thing, was like take a newbie, get them comfortable, send them to a real gym. I think that's still kind of a business model we could work with. what we do here is so different compared to the brick and mortar that it's not really competing in any way.
Would you say there's an easy way to scale athletes at different levels, or is that harder with the online?
Yeah. Oh, awesome question. So everyone has different equipment, right? Some people have a full gym. Some people have a dumbbell in their like kitchen, and everyone's coming at different levels. So what we've done from the ground up is the programming. I can't be programming like rope climbs and GHDs and handstand push-ups because that's not at all convenient to do at home. So the programming is very much understood that we're doing it in a home environment. The notes that come with the programming spell out all different options for equipment and for abilities and for goals. And then just the ethos of our whiteboard talk. When we're talking to the whiteboard, we're never talking about weights. It's always about like stimulus. Like you should be able to do 10 unbroken if you were fresh in the workout, 2 breaks per round. Sounds like a good idea. And something you'll hear a lot of our athletes say all the time is like, my best workout. Like someone will unmute and be like, hey, I think my best workout today is I'm going to bike instead of do all those burpees. And I support them wholeheartedly through a decision like that. So just the ethos of like, we're here to move, if that's RX, or if you're literally just stretching while we're doing the workout, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Chris Thompson, Morgan is a seriously incredible coach.
Thank you, Chris.
Buster Cherry, I think that's a new one. Yes, but they can do level 1 over virtual, making that sweet money.
That's a great point, right? Like, and I actually had to renew my level 1 through a virtual platform, and it was awesome because it was very similar to what I do every day. And it works, right? Obviously, it's different than the real level 1 in person, but you're still learning, connecting, getting really sweaty, you're getting the information and the workout you need through that virtual platform. That's a great point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. And Chris also throws up a question, which is one of them that I did want to ask. Like, I know Miranda and Julian they do have an affiliate in their garage. Obviously, they don't host classes. They do own street parking. I don't know if that's, I was a street parking member for a long time. They're not selling it as CrossFit. They never mentioned CrossFit, but they are doing affiliate coaching. I don't know how those two tie together.
Yeah.
If they're just holding the affiliate and they're separate, I don't know. But I mean, there is that. I'm sure there are other gyms that are still doing virtual offerings. Have you been contacted, or have you talked to anybody else in the CrossFit community who does virtual, or gotten any advice, or talk to others kind of for that?
Haven't connected with anyone yet. I know like street parking, like great program. They don't, you're right, like they don't say the words CrossFit anywhere. So it might be that they are the online offering is not necessarily an affiliate, but their garage is. So potentially that's a model I might have to mimic of, come to my garage and work out with me. You're doing CrossFit, do it over Zoom. We're doing functional fitness. So that's something I might have to reach out and talk to them about.
Yeah. Did this letter basically just end your affiliation with CrossFit, or do you have a certain amount of time to comply? Or
yes. Essentially, as soon as possible, make sure your website says the right name, like get rid of Jim Bungerz, say CrossFit Get Up, and stop doing virtual stuff, start doing in-person stuff ASAP.
Got it. All right.
So technically a little, I guess I'm breaking the rules right now at the moment, but it's with the intention of hopefully sorting this out.
Yeah. So I guess if anybody from CrossFit is watching, like, what do you want to have happen by trying to make, getting people aware of this?
Yeah. Oh, great question.
Open a discussion.
Absolutely. Open a discussion. I would love to hear why CrossFit is hesitant with virtual, not just because it's in the agreement, but like a legitimate reason why. I would love to share our trials and tribulations over 3 years, because we've learned a lot of stuff the hard way, and we figured out a lot of really awesome stuff that our members absolutely love. And I would love to get those two ideas in the same room, and whatever comes out of that discussion, I'm more than happy to fall in line with.
Cool. If anybody's curious, you can go to Instagram, Jim Bungerz. That's Bungerz. on Instagram, and also jimbungers.com. So you can head over there and check out what he has. And I assume you'll be giving updates on Instagram, based off of kind of what comes out of your discussions, hopefully with CrossFit at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it, Morgan. Thanks for coming on and kind of sharing what's going on and kind of informing the community of, what's going on, at least from a CrossFit virtual gym standpoint.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Really
Morgan.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Morgan.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. How's it going, Tyler?
It's going good. Yeah. Just I'm finally recovered.
Are you back?
Yeah. We went to Pensacola to beach brawl. It wasn't all that stressful as far as physically. It's more of the driving that I'm finally recovered from. So, how are you?
Fantastic. Did you win?
We got 11th out of like 27 in the RX co-ed team division. But I will say this, that there were at least a handful, maybe more, of like pro level teams. Brandon Luckett was in the lane next to me. There was basically a whole grid team there. There were very good teams there. And if I might complain just a little bit, in one of the workouts, they counted our reps wrong and we got totally screwed. So if we would have gotten the right reps on that one, we would have gotten 7th, but we didn't. So, okay, it's fine. But it was a good time. It was the first time I had ever been to Pensacola and beach brawl. And I mean, it's like, as soon as I got there, I was like, wow, this is way bigger than I realized. It's a really cool experience as far as like, it's definitely like more of a community event. Yeah, there is like some definite like really good athletes, especially this year. There was, it seemed like a semifinal, like bubble athlete competition. But, there was some really good athletes there on the individual side and then on the team side too. The programming was, they try to fit everything into one day, depending on what you're doing, except for the elites. They swam on Friday, but that was it.
Yeah.
And so that just limits you programming wise, but as far it stays pretty fun. Like each workout was spread out by 2 hours. Vindicate. He had to drive farther than I did. And so I'm over here complaining. He had to drive all the way back to BFE. But anyway, it was super cool. It's hot. It's on the beach. It's a lot of fun. So
Sandy.
Yeah. I tried as hard as I could to not get sand in everything, and it didn't work. There was a beach workout where it was ski and then kettlebell snatches on the beach, like in the sand. And then you had to run, I don't know, like 30 yards, go over a log, go under the log, and then run back, and then dumbbell snatches again. And dumbbell snatches in the sand took a minute to figure out. So
John, you went to Brute Camp, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were doing that. I was listening on the way down. You talking about doing that?
It was glorious.
Because you were on Savants.
Yeah, it felt very like war. I'm not kidding. It's the most beat down I've ever been.
You were down. Was it Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had like very high volume days before, and it's fine. But literally every single workout would have been like a competition like intensity. But they weren't, I don't know, like it was workout after workout after workout after workout. It was an all day thing. It wasn't like a competition where you only have 2 a day, right? For 3 straight days. But it was really good. I feel like I learned a lot.
Very cool. Have you how many messages have you gotten after Hiller's video this afternoon?
I've gotten a few. Some think me and Hiller are like on bad terms now.
Wait, so I missed this. What's going on with that? I just saw a message about
You
it.
want to pull it up? We could probably pull it up.
Yeah, I'll try to.
It's
pull
at
it up here.
10:54 is the timestamp.
Yeah.
Can you hear
What
it
is
on
it?
here? He just calls me out on some Wodapalooza reps, man.
Oh, okay. So it's rehashing that whole thing.
Yeah, it was in the text thread. So
yeah. But I didn't know.
Listen, I'm too strong to stand up straight. That's what it comes down to. I'm just kidding. No, it's all in good. It's fair. You know what I mean? I don't think you can say anything to that other than, I mean, he's not wrong. I'm trying to go really fast, and my reps aren't really great. If they decided to dock me on that, there is nothing I can say. They're well within their right.
Here we go.
Oh, these bad boys. Yeah.
Let me get this thing started here for you.
Hiller, don't block us.
Young, sorry, man. I'm here. We know him as well. We see him on the Sevon podcast. He's a good dude, very freaking strong. And maybe because he's so strong, he can't hit hip extension like he can when he's tired.
Again, all this I get that all the time, the whole squat depth thing. And it's like, all right, tell me you have small legs without telling me you have small legs. Tell me you have small legs without telling me you have small legs.
Now,
John don't have small legs.
My only complaint with this is that he is putting me in the same boat as Danny Spiegel. Please don't do that, man. I don't want to be Danny Spiegel.
I want to see the same photo shoot of you in New York City.
What?
That Danny, you didn't see the Danny Spiegel's photo shoot? I want to see you in the same outfit, John.
Naked with pumpkins? Is that what you're talking about?
No, she had on some really, really tight pants.
Well, that's
that'd be good.
Prerogative, Tyler. But
It would be so. I think weren't you talking about doing a calendar?
Oh yeah, I'll do a calendar.
We need to do a CrossFit calendar, and that'd be his outfit.
Yeah. Well, Hiller doesn't avoid anybody. He goes after whoever
and that's
sees.
good. That's good. I honestly it makes for a better sport. I think if it's at my expense, that I should squat better, right? So,
You handled it like a champ. You did. I felt for you in the time, but it's funny because it's it sucks to receive that, but he's doing it because he cares, especially about you. You know what I mean?
They're not good. I mean, if I'm bro, you're reaching, you know what I mean? Then it's there are worse reps out there, right? But
right.
I don't think he's wrong. I'm trying to go really fast. I need to I need to know in the beginning, lock out hard, because you don't do that when you try to go fast. You know what I mean? That's fine. I don't think there's any shame in that. I know every elite athlete has cheated it a little bit, and when they get called out on it, they need to be like, you're right. You know what I mean? They need to and I don't think there's any shame in that.
Robin's racing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that and just the way you handled it, I think is good. And speaking of which, I think the best person who handled any type of satire may have been Kelsey Keel.
Invitational kicks off in about a month's time, and they've suffered a little bit of a dip in financial security of late, having initially announced a prize purse of $1.489 million. It's now down to $1.481 million. Financial experts are blaming the dip in value on Bitcoin trading and have claimed the prize might have actually dropped as much as the value of a Porsche at one point. Bitcoin trader Shane Orr was unavailable for comment. Wodapalooza have been busy updating their leaderboard over the last couple of days. The top 20 will go on to the elite field, and the remaining top 40 will qualify for RX. Let's have a little bit of a look at the leaderboard and see who's there. I'll say the first name I recognize. Guy. No, that's a different Guy. Well, it's a veritable who's who of who's that. Hands up, though, if you're looking forward to seeing Royce Dunn piss all over an RX competition, or Kelsey Keel joining the open field. In other news, Kelsey Keel has announced that she is going individual this season. Oh. There have been letters of thanks.
And
I like. Go ahead.
yeah, you go in here and you see Kelsey Keel actually responds and says, "I'm dead," right? Like she plays it. She laughs at herself.
And
which
this is on the heels of Kelsey Keel thoroughly being better than me at like 97% of everything in fitness. so makes me feel great, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of Wodapalooza, good segue into what's going on there. The qualifier has concluded. It's still leaderboard's still going to move. Video reviews, as you know, Hiller covered, and it sounds like he and Dylan have been talking that there will be extensive video review, especially on workout 4 with all of the deadlifts and handstand push-ups. What I wanted to really talk about, and I think there's been some questions on here from Sarah. Can you explain what the tiers are on the Wodapalooza tickets? So what's going on here is they now have 3 different types of tickets. So you have the festival pass, which does not get you into the stages when the elites are competing, right? So you can get it at Tina Hills and Flagler. You'll have a small section to get in there, but like Bayside, you won't be able to. And so, but you can go and watch every other different division that's going to be there, just not the elite during it. That's obviously the
Which
lowest.
I would imagine.
Yep.
I would imagine Tina Hills like fits most everybody. Like that's not going to be in Bayside.
It's, I mean, it was packed. I'm sure there was. I mean, it was when they did the clean event, or was it clean and jerk for the individuals? I mean, that hillside was packed. I mean, it was
but
overflowing
what I'm
off the
saying,
side, but
that was when everybody wanted to be at Tina Hills. So like if everybody is in Bayside seated, you know, and then you have overflow essentially in Tina Hills and Flagler, like I don't see anybody being like, sorry, you can't come in here. Like I feel like there's going to be enough space. But I mean, that'd be a good problem to have.
As Spiegel says, the festival pass is for those who want to party. Yeah, I mean, it's a good time. What Wodapalooza is going to do is they're going to add a whole bunch of jumbotrons around the area. So if you can't get in, you'll still be able to watch it. And it sounds like they'll have a beer garden. So, I mean, it does sound like, again, you'll be able to see it. You just won't be in the actual stadium itself for the elites. And they're doing that to prevent what happened last year of just, I mean, there are lines of several hundred people long just trying to get in. Once you got in, you couldn't leave. Otherwise, you were never getting back. So people were kind of stuck there. And so what they're doing now is they have this elite weekend pass, and they have a certain number of tickets, and they've broken it out into 4 different tiers. And those tiers, the TIER, not the TYR, they range from the lowest end price to you know, as each tier goes on, it gets to a higher tier price. And what that is as the first tier sells out, now you're in the next tier and it's a little bit more expensive. So they're kind of pushing you to go and buy those tickets early. Since it went live, 8 hours ago, they're already on the second tier for both the elite and the VIP pass. So there's 4 tiers for the elite and 3 for the VIP. So I think it's going very well. I mean, if you know you're going to go and you want to watch the elites, I would highly recommend going and buying those tickets.
That's really interesting, especially considering how early it is. Like usually, generally with anything you sell tickets on, they don't sell till the last minute. Mm-hmm. And especially like right now where no one knows if they're going to qualify, like and how that's going to work, them selling this early is a very good sign. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because if you don't get it and you really want to see them in person on the stage, you got to get them now. And what I've been told is that athletes will get an opportunity to buy a ticket for themselves at a discounted price, and there will be some held over. I don't know if that's for every athlete or if there'll be a select few, and those athletes have to kind of like fight for it, I don't know, but it's like a 12% discount or something like that. So, if you think you're going to go, I would highly recommend jumping on. If nothing else, you save you some money and do that. So, good to see that that's happening. And as for SoCal, we don't know how that's all going to work, but tickets and all that information won't be out until after the Miami Wodapalooza. So one thing at a time. Anything on the leaderboard you guys noticed? It's definitely a move. We're going to see lots of
I think
changes.
Austin Hatfield's going to make the games this next year.
He looked pretty
Are you being
solid.
facetious?
No. For him to be one spot out of the games, and it took a miracle like last day by Spencer to outdo him. For him to be first place in the qualifier by like a pretty darn like significant amount. Like he's first place easily. And like I'm not saying he's going to win Wodapalooza because like there's going to be all the elite guys at Wodapalooza, but like for him to like easily beat other semifinals athletes, I think he's on the come up. He's relatively young, and his trajectory seems like it's increasing for me. Like I would not be surprised if he made the games this next year. And I think he's a name. I don't know if he'll do anything at the games, but I think he's a name we need to think about as far as people who can make the games that haven't.
Yeah. Somebody to keep an eye on.
He's competing at Crash. Yep, there we go. Make the call. There's JR in the comments. He is competing at Crash. But we'll talk about where I have him placed next week.
That's next week, JR.
Yeah.
I got my jersey ready.
And I was able to find Austin's workout 4 video. His deadlifts were strong. Like they weren't hunched over. He was getting clear extension and still put up a really good time. So it's one of those things where it's good to see versus you see it and you're like, you might get a penalty. But just watching that one video showed that he was moving well and not skirting the standards like John. So.
I didn't know that was the end of the sentence. I thought you were going to say like John said somebody else.
Nope.
Nope.
Alex Carone, he's in there. A different gi, but also from Brazil. So it's again, like we talked about last week, it's a lot of semifinal athletes who are trying to get their name in there. So we'll keep an eye out for it whenever the video review is over. But Rebecca made it so far, so she was on last week. So though I think the women's are probably a little bit more well known than the men's side for the most part. All right. Anything else before we move on to Rogue?
No, it's hard to judge right now just because we know there's going to be changes. At least that's why I haven't dug super hard into it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Before we get into Rogue, if you're watching, make sure you subscribe. I saw the views last week. We had 6,500 people watch and I have 3,500 subscribers. So go hit the subscribe button. Don't just watch and bolt. So go get that number up. All right. Rogue Invitational. Which way you want to start on the specialists, Tyler?
Yeah, we can do that. So the general idea was, and we've been wanting to do this with Heat 1 for a while. I think the original idea came around the games. We just never fell through or came through with it. So I think John called them. What did you call these? The accolades. I just call them the archetypes. Whatever. It's who is the best at
a word you want to use? Adjective.
Yeah, it has to be an A word though.
Awesome abilities.
Awesome
fits
abilities.
in the Venn diagram? Who fits in the Venn diagram?
Right. The Venn diagram athletes. Even though it's not an A, I can make a pass for that. Gymnastics, weightlifting, monostructural. So when I was going through looking at the games, you only had to choose so many athletes. And looking at Rogue, you're only going to need probably 10. You're only going to need 5 guys if you can play each of them twice, right? And so what I want to know, and the style of playing a lot of people play is you want to have ringers, or archetypes or Venn diagram athletes for the ones that you know are going to win. And so the question is, who are the top 3 in each one of those gymnastics, weightlifting, and monostructural? I also, in my own time, do like a what I call a utility athlete. So if I can't pick one of those, who would I pick? Or I don't want to waste one of them early, I'll pick a utility player. But we'll just stick with gymnastics, weightlifting, and monostructural. So
yeah, and if it's anything like last year, the events were announced last second. Like we didn't even know what they were until the very end, and there'll be a rush on the Heat One app. So
It's good to have these memorized.
yeah, if you
Handy,
know that there's
yeah.
a gymnastics based event,
You can do it last minute.
Quickly
You don't have
just
to do
make
any
somebody
research.
pick.
Be like, I know this guy's good at this thing. And
he's going to get me
might
90
be-
points at least.
It might not be your
Yeah.
winner, but you're not going to get hurt by it.
yep.
Right. Unless it's Jason, and then you'll get hurt.
Well, you were the most.
Just kidding. So which one do you want to do first? You want to do gymnastics, weightlifting, and monostructural?
Well, I was gonna say let's start all on the men's side, and we'll just work our way down. So we'll start with the
Okay.
monostructural.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to go first? You want me to?
Let's have John start off.
So I did a top 5. I didn't know we were in the top 3. I just went ahead with 5. And monostructural, I struggled with the word without defining it very much because I think everybody jumps to running, but monostructural is also rowing, biking, skiing, right? So I was thinking machines, swimming is also monostructural. So
Which they never had at Rogue.
no,
yet.
so I didn't tally that. I was just talking that. But for this, I didn't put that in there. So I was thinking machines plus running. It's not just running. And then I did it together, and then I did it separate. So I have my best runners and my best machine people if we want to dive in a little further. But in total, I said Roman for number 1.
Okay.
He is the best one on machines. The
Would
only
you-
one that can challenge him is Hopper.
Would you keep Roman after his injury?
He don't have to move his feet on machines, Brian.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen. They go on a ruck run. He's not going to be my pick for that reason.
Yeah.
But Roman's ability as a runner is top 5 in the field, and his ability in machines is number 1, unless Hopper gets him, right? Which I don't.
Yeah.
I don't put that out of the realm out of possibility. Second.
Don't move. Don't go second yet.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
what do you think, Spin? Who's your number 1 pick for monostructural and why?
You see how I got there first, though, before we.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
For your number 1, I'm going to go with Adler.
Okay, what on machines has he done that shows you?
So I didn't look at just machines. I looked at just in general. If I have to go pick, you're going to tell me go
Innate
pick somebody in
monostructural ability.
monostructural. Go pick your top athlete. I'm going to pick Adler without knowing what that is. Right?
In what way is he better than Roman?
He's runner. He's a better runner.
He's a better runner by one person.
Right now.
What else?
Well, but we don't know it at this point. We don't know how Roman can run. Like, has he been running? Has he stayed off of it? I'm thinking about just for Rogue, not in general.
Just for Rogue.
What they've done in the past.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay, they got a bike. They have a
month.
biker. Who are you picking? Echo bike. Who are you picking?
I don't know if it's an Echo bike. I'm saying if you tell me there's a monostructural event,
just
right now,
no
I'm picking Adler.
qualifiers.
If there's an Echo bike event, who are you picking?
I'll probably pick Roman.
If there's a rowing event, who are you picking?
Maybe Roman.
If there's a skiing event, who are you picking?
Roman.
And you're going to
Not
roll Adler
Roman.
as number
He's
1.
But then there's
bad.
running.
See what I'm
If there's
saying?
running. But I'm saying if there's running, Roman's not probably in the top 5.
We don't don't
And
know
Adler
that.
is.
His foot might be fine. He just
Might
broke
be.
a little bit.
You just said might.
I
agree.
picked
If it's a
Roman.
run, I'm not picking Roman, but I'm not picking Adler either. If you want to go straight off of running, Adler's third best in this field.
Again, I'm not looking at one specific thing. I'm looking at as just in general. If you're going to say there's going to be a monostructural component into it, I'm picking Adler.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to say that.
And it doesn't have to be a single modality either. Right? Like
Right.
it could be
multiple. So this
multiple
is how I picked. This is why I picked Roman. Is I
picked
thought
Roman as
about
well,
what
Tyler?
I picked Roman as well, and I thought, okay, this is Rogue. And
big on machines.
if we're gonna
always have it.
They're big on machines, but not only that. So when I think monostructural, I'm thinking monostructural limited. So a workout like the Capitol.
That's
Adler
great,
is
Will.
better because he can't. So when I think of monostructural for Rogue, I think of the Capitol. I think the limiter there is how fast you can run and breathe. Yeah, you had to lift weight, so there's a bit of a weightlifting component there, but it was really determined by your ability to handle a monostructural thing going into that weightlift, right? And so I heavily weighed the Capitol and then the run from this year. And I still came out with Roman. But to me, if there was a tie to break, Roman broke it because of the Capitol. Because look at the run that they did last year. And if we do a long event again, like what are they going to do? I think they would do a run again. They're not going to do a bike, not like a trail bike. I mean, like what other long events like that would they do? What have they done in the past? I guess chippers?
It's always been a run.
Well, last year was the only time I think that they've done especially an offsite type of run. Before, I think it's just been really longer chippers. Like it's not been a single modality.
No,
event.
they had like the running thing with the carrying the bag. They had to carry the big bag one year that Hogberg dropped it and Fraser passed him. And that was a run. They did rope climbs and like ran 2 800-meter laps. Like they've always been some kind of
that was back. That was years ago. Yeah.
Right.
There's only been
was that 2019?
Four of them.
Yeah. So
to me, monostructural is the least important when it comes to Rogue because they're just not going to do that much of it, right? We had the one run
sprinting
event.
as monostructural though.
I don't,
because I think there's always going to be a one long monostructural event. And I don't disagree with you that it's the least important, but there's always a sprinty event too. There's always a sprinty machine event at Rogue,
right?
Also.
Yeah.
If you count
and
that
to
as
me,
awesome. Go ahead.
You're safe. Like you're not wrong. You definitely like if you want to be super dorky about it, you definitely should. And this is something that I do is split out like your monostructural sprinters. Definitely sort those guys out. But if you're not, and you're just going off the list that we're making, pick one of your weightlifting guys. They're going to do fine, right? If it's that short time domain, just pick one of the weightlifting guys. They're not going to do terrible.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like Roman, but I'm not willing to put him in first given his injury. Now, he looked strong. It looked like he was flipping one of the pig type things in his video. So, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he comes back and is fully strong. I just don't know what he's been working on and to what capacity. So,
right.
If I was just going to pick, I would pick Adler right now. So
who's your 2 and 3, John?
2, I have Ricky. For the reasons Brian is picking Adler number 1, like it's ridiculous that he's picking Adler number 1 for that reason because Ricky should be that person. If the reasons you gave, the answer should be Ricky Garrard. He hurt his collarbone. That doesn't affect running at all. You know what he probably did when he was in a sling? Probably went for a run. You know what I mean? Like, and then 3, I have Hosta because he's the best runner of the field at the games, where he showed that he was. He beat Adler. He's also 6'2", so I'm willing to bet he's pretty good at machines as well.
Yep.
To in your defense, Brian, I have Adler 4th.
Also not that bad. Not that
Okay.
bad.
What's JR saying here? Oh, Ricky Mack.
Well, first, JR didn't pay me, so we'll start with LDY 2742. Ricky Mack.
And then Russian.
Russian. I appreciate
the
the
same.
29. I definitely say that Ricky Mack is in the discussion for sure.
That's my 2, 3, 4. Ricky, Yella, and then Adler. How about you guys?
What did JR say? Last year, running meaningful was in 2. Echo and the ski.
Okay, yeah, because
Don't
they had to
play
run
run
up
from
the.
Well, you think of the goblet, they had to run up the hill and back. They always loved that hill. That is running. I will say that's running,
Yeah.
but Vellner killed everybody just because he was better at the ring muscle-ups.
Yeah.
Right? But it's still, I don't know. That's just a part of a workout. I don't really consider that a monostructural event.
Limitation. Right,
That's a
yeah.
CrossFit event.
Yeah.
Right.
Roman was trash in that event, and it wasn't because of the run.
No.
So John's second 2 were Ricky and Yella Hosta. And who is yours?
I have Ricky and Yella.
And I have
running is only one part of monostructural.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I have
go ahead.
Roman in 4th. So
Okay.
are we even?
You have the
Are we good?
2024 CrossFit Games champion as the 4th best monostructural person. Because
Oh,
you
you're
can't
calling
get
it
over
already,
2023.
Roman's 2024.
I'm gonna call it right now. Roman Krenikov is gonna win the 2024 CrossFit Games. Book it.
There it is.
I want to say I think I'm the first one to say it. So if other people say it, I've said it first. Okay.
What? You're the first to say what? The Roman's going to win in 24?
Roman's gonna win in 2024.
I don't think that's a brave statement.
Well, nobody said it yet.
Care, nobody said first. My third pick. So my second pick was Ricky. Obvious reasons. He's a monostructural machine.
Boy, we're on the same wavelength.
I know.
Once. Yeah.
This is the first time that, but I went hard on this one. So my number 3 pick is Travis Mayer.
What?
I think
listen, I don't think it's bad. Can I defend your argument, or do you want to argue?
No, you go for it.
Okay, so I don't have Travis as in my top 5, but I do have Travis in my top 5 for machine. So if we want to, if we just dissected it, I think Travis is the 4th best in the field at machines. I'd put Dallin ahead of him. In case you're wondering who that third guy was, Dallin's been a freak lately. But Travis is a really good runner, and he's not top tier, but he's right behind top tier. And then he's really, really good at machines. He's not top tier, but he's right behind top tier. And I would say he's closer to top tier on machines than he is running. I don't think it's a bad call at all. I think it's biased.
He put a lot of work in running in this off season though. So
Travis
I'm
would be my
considering that
6th. He would be my 6th. So for him to be Tyler's
After-
3rd, that makes sense considering he's where his biases. I don't. think it's a
But
bad
I also think so when I was looking at it, I looked at the list of athletes and then I thought, okay, what is my bias? And I was looking at basically just 22, 23 games. And then I thought about last year's Rogue a little bit. And I was like, oh, we really haven't seen Travis all that much, right? We didn't see him last year at all. And then he wasn't at Rogue last year. So I was like, oh, we're missing out on him. And I was like, oh, I definitely like him as a monostructural athlete for sure. And so Yellow Hosta is up there for me, probably 5. I didn't think about Dallin, but Dallin's not a bad pick. Dallin was I only did top 3, but he was within the top 5 on almost everything for me.
And he's not my top 5 for monostructural guys because running, I would argue running is 50% of monostructural, like how you weigh whatever.
Yeah.
I would have running and then machines because running is in so many workouts, right? It's not just one thing. And if you're a good runner, you're probably pretty darn fit. So I would argue that's 50% of the token. And Dallin is not the best runner, right? So that's why I don't have Dallin in my top 5, but I do think Dallin is top 3 in machines.
Travis B, how did Travis Mayer, do in the 5K in Madrid? He took 2nd. 12 seconds behind Lazar.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised nobody has said Lazar yet.
I think the machine piece of it pushes him
I
down.
mean, you don't care about that for your number 1 pick. Why would you care about it with him?
I think Adler's just fine on the machines.
He is not top 5 in machines.
Adler did just fine in semifinals on the machines, the first workout.
Did that have running in it?
Yeah.
And was the sled the main thing in that thing? You can't count workout 1 in semifinals for anything. I've
For
told you
nothing?
this a million times.
Nothing.
No, it means nothing. That workout means
Nothing.
nothing.
So Jason Hopper wasn't dominant because of machines.
Not in workout 1.
All right. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
How do you do in
which-
workout 7? Because I think that's a machine.
That was 100% not a machine. That was all toes to bar.
A whole bunch of people did that unbroken.
Yeah, but look at Roman. He crushed the bike, and then he just got destroyed because he crushed
Got
it. He went
fourth.
too fast.
He still got
Yeah.
4th.
He should have won it based on your opinion. He's the best in the.
Oh,
he's
he
the
took
best
it
in
out.
the
He
world.
took it out a little hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what the toes bar ain't what got him. He just went out too hot.
Wad Zombie 499. Tia is going to win the 2024 CrossFit Games. You heard it here.
You heard it here first, John.
John.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I don't think that's a terrible statement, Wad Zombie. I'll claim that for sure if you want to. But after seeing Laura's strict deficit handstand push-ups, I think it might be. I think it might be closer than people think. I bet we have a race.
They weren't on parallettes though. They were on.
No,
they were on blocks.
I know, but she couldn't do nothing before, man. Like, what's funny? I wonder if she just has this evolution, like she knows she can do them now, but she's just gonna wait and see. We go, but they weren't on parallettes, and then she'll do them on parallettes. You know what I mean? Because at first we said they weren't strict. I'm just saying, if this is,
I want to know what she did before.
they still weren't that great. I mean, if she's fresh, this is still pretty rough. But they're better than they used to be, is all I'm saying. I think I just think it'll be closer than we think. I still probably will give the edge to Tia. But Laura's looking pretty darn good.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that here soon about our overall picks. But all right, we'll move on to the men's gymnastics. Do we all want to say the number 1 in unison?
I'm down. You down,
Vellner.
Tyler? 3,
What?
2,
Yeah.
1. Victor Hoffer.
Vellner. What?
You have not done very much research, then, man.
Who'd you say?
Victor Hoffer.
Oh. I mean, yes, I guess.
Dude, the guy's 140 pounds. Oh, yeah, he's going to be better
I mean-
than everybody at gymnastics.
Yeah, if he survives everything else they're gonna do.
It
I
doesn't
mean,
matter. He just has to get through it.
I don't know.
So,
I'll go
did
one
you?
further. I don't think there's one gymnastic that Vellner can beat Victor Hoffer at.
Really?
If it's just that, so say they do max ring muscle ups, I bet Victor beats him. They do max handstand walking for distance, I bet Victor beats him. Handstand push-ups, which is about what Spin's about to show us, I bet Victor beats him. I don't think there's one gymnastic that Vellner can beat Victor Hoffer at. And if there is, Pat, prove it.
Yeah, you didn't see this, I don't think, Tyler. Well,
No.
Heavily favored. Does that make you feel better or worse?
It makes me feel like people don't know what they're talking about.
She's talking
Why?
to Tyler.
I
That's
think
Tyler
people
Walker.
favor me on that because I have a strong gymnastics background and forget that it's 12 years old. And then
I guess that's kind of
the
true.
reality of a workout like that is it's overhead endurance.
Yes.
And if you had us with a barbell overhead, who would be the favorites? Like it's skill, but it's overhead endurance.
Right.
Like by the end, I had no more tricep strength. Like I couldn't, it
Right.
was too risky to move. But some of the guys that have really great like arm endurance overhead, those are the guys that are going to be successful. Like Justin has been crushing handstand workouts like that for the last 3 years.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, yeah, it's pressure, but I just think it's funny because I know what I'm good at. I'd smoke everybody on those pullovers.
Right.
But when it comes to doing down and back, length of the floor and handstand with handstand push-ups, everybody can do that stuff now.
Right.
So
From now on, we will not root for you in gymnastics workouts.
it depends on the gymnastics.
Okay,
It's like,
okay.
If it's a handstand, like handstand hold, handstand push-ups, like I'm not a handstand push-up guy.
Yeah.
Never have been. So like this is a handstand push-up workout. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, right? Hanging gymnastics, pulling gymnastics, rope climb, muscle-ups, go for it.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, going into a workout.
Hey, real quick, can you put up Nick's comment real quick? I would like to respond to it.
Yeah.
The answer to this question, Nick, no. And that's why Patrick Vellner is the third or fourth fittest man in the world, and Victor Hoffer is Victor Hoffer.
Or second.
I don't think there's a strength implement Pat can beat me at. And you know what? I am 500th fittest in the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. But just gymnastics wise, Victor Hoffer is insane.
Will, she's saying right. Yes.
I kind of agree with that too. I agree with that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys pick Hoffer. All right,
Yep.
who's your number 2 picks then?
Tyler's done with it. My number 2 is Bailey Martin.
That's same as mine.
Damn, that's my boy, and I didn't even pick him.
Yeah, Bailey Martin. He surprised us at the games. I don't think we had him on the radar for being that good, and he crushed it.
I was talking about quarterfinals, guys. Leave me alone.
Quarterfinals.
500.
Leave me alone. That's the last thing I had. Can y'all just leave me at Hiller's after me? Comments are
Yeah,
after
send
me.
him.
Listen,
Send
I'm just
Hillers
trying to
after
be
you.
my best self. Please just leave me alone. All right. Who do you have second, Tyler?
I put Yona
Dude, okay.
after Vellner. After Vellner.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider Hoffer, and you're right. I just didn't consider him.
Do we need to go through the list again, Tyler?
Of what? Athletes? No. I think Yona's a great pick as far as gymnastics goes. You know, considering Hoffer, yes, probably a better pick. Probably should be my number 2. But I mean, his track record is stellar on gymnastics events. I don't think I need to defend him at all. Do you disagree, John? He's not paying attention.
I'm
You
sorry.
son of a bitch.
I got a
Yeah,
text message.
he's fine. He's fine. I wouldn't put him
What'd you
number
say?
2.
What'd you say?
That Jan would be
I said-
number 2. Like
Yona's track record is stellar on gymnastics. I don't think I need to defend that at all.
No. I don't think it's bad to put him at number 2. I wouldn't put him at number 2, but I think he's in my top 5. It's kind of like Travis Mayer. Like, I don't mind that he's in the top 5 for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. Like he said, he didn't think about Victor Hoffer. I mean, if he did it, he'd probably be first, and then Yona be third. You know what I mean? So then it's
Mhm.
Yona is. We'll get there. So are we gonna? What's your third one, Brian? Are we
Third.
on third yet?
Yeah, Vellner.
I have a tie between. I couldn't decide which one between Vellner and Noah. The reason why I say that is because any handstand push-up thing, Noah murders. I think Vellner's a better puller, but Noah's a better presser. And then, like, if you take things like toes to bar and pull-ups, I think Noah cycles those much faster. You take bar muscle-ups, I'm probably like Noah cycles faster. I kind of think Vellner is just fitter. So, like, the workouts that he wins are just because he's fitter, right? But their gymnastics ability, I would put them very close to each other.
You know, that's a really good point you kind of tangentially bring up is we don't really ever see gymnastics specialist events like we do like a weightlifting event or even a monostructural event. It's always paired with other stuff.
Handstand walking. Handstand walking is the only
Right.
thing that is gymnastics specific, I would say. It's very rare that we don't – it's very rare that it's not handstand walking.
Yeah. So when you're making these picks, there's a bit of fitness probably built in more so in those picks than the other picks, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't just pick somebody that's going to be terrible at anything else. But I mean,
right,
that would be the only knock against Hoffer, right? Is that outside of the gymnastics piece, he may get passed by him. But again, if it's a gymnastics heavy event, I'm going with Hoffer. All right, weightlifting. Who's your number 1?
We didn't do the Oh, I had more people. My bad. I didn't have
Yeah,
top
you,
three.
you have a list in the 20.
I had a tie
weightlifting.
between Adler and Koski on the on the fifth one for gymnastics. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Tyler,
Weightlifting. Number one.
top weightlifting guy.
Now hold on before we go. Everybody should have the same guy as number one. And I'm going,
You said that on the last one, and I screwed
and,
that up.
and you were wrong. I'm saying if you do not have this certain guy, then you guys need to go. You need to do some research before you come in the podcast. It's getting embarrassing if we don't have the same guy.
Tangential. Tangential is a word.
All right, go ahead. Number one, Tyler.
Adler.
Oh my gosh, no, you're so wrong. All right.
Why am I wrong?
John, ready?
Yep. 3, 2,
3.
1. Tudor.
Tudor.
Hey, what's Adler's snatch? Can you tell me off the back of your hand?
Okay, maybe Adler isn't
No.
as strong,
Can you answer
but you're
the
not
question?
considering his ability to not screw up. Like Tudor messes up constantly. I'm sorry, I'm being flat out
Give me a
about it. But
weightlifting event where he did not lift what he can.
didn't he do that in the Zelos games?
He snatched 322. It was a PR for him. 322. The most
Yeah,
we've
but he
ever
didn't-
seen, except for Anthony Davis and Tola. Go ahead. Next. If it's just weightlifting, Tudor doesn't screw up. Tudor's just not very fit, and he can't jump rope. I don't know if he ever did a single
can't
in his
jump rope.
life. But like, if it's just weightlifting, Tudor Magda is by far the strongest one in this field. So
2020.
Now, if it's an event where they have to do stuff and then lift, like I'd even say like the running clean event. You know the running clean event in the games.
Yeah.
The heavy one. You can do the heavy one. I'll pick Adler, right? Because it's a fitness thing, right?
Right.
But if it's just weightlifting, which is what we're grading on, Adler snatches 290. He's not a great snatcher. Tudor snatches 320. That's 30 pounds, Tyler.
Well,
that's the difference
so
between me and you. That's
You're
so
only
much.
You're only considering though the snatch, clean, and jerk, which I didn't because it's Rogue. They're gonna lift something weird.
If you clean and jerk 30 more pounds than the other guy, I bet you squat more than him too.
I bet you don't, because look at freaking Chandler. Chandler's not the strongest dude in the field, but he outlifted everybody on the log. He's not the best clean and jerk or snatcher, but he outlifted everybody on the log. So what do you have to say to that? There's a brute strength part of this involved.
There was no strong men that were at that competition. There was no strength specialist that year.
I think
Roman was second.
Tudor ends up winning the log if he redoes it.
There was no
way.
There was no
No way.
Tola. There was no Bronislaw. There was no Jack Farlow. Like that year when Chandler won, there was no strength specialist there.
Right. But I'm saying that those guys aren't going to do well. Like they're not going to do as well as they do on those events. Who cares if you can snatch?
A lot of people.
Seriously, if you're lifting a brute force thing, it does not matter. Your ability to get under a bar moving as fast as it can through your hips does not matter anymore.
Yeah, but if you look at what Rogue has historically done, like last year's Texas Oak was like the first time they've really done anything that was a true odd object heavy lift. Everything else has always been standard barbell.
But okay, so all right, that's
so
fine.
if you think it's going to be the
bet.
same, like, hey, look, if they have some weird odd object, like maybe Tudor doesn't do as well because it's not a standard lift, but the odds are it's going to go back to something like that.
See, I think that they're finding their own and they're going to start pushing. It seems like an obvious play for them, right? You want to have that weird stuff that you can only do as sort of strongman kind of stuff.
I see what you're saying. But you're telling me Adler's been good at the odd object stuff? We want to go back to the sandbag and see how good Adler did at that?
You didn't do well at the log.
If it's an argument about new objects, I feel like Adler's one of the worst people when it comes to figuring out new things. Yes,
I'll take that argument.
He's got.
I'll take that argument.
And I'm going to take the guy that's 20 pounds stronger than everybody else. Right? And Chandler is not the best clean and jerker or not the best snatcher, but Chandler, we know, has atrocious form on everything. He deadlifted 510 times. When it comes to just brute strength, Chandler is one of the best people there is, right? Right? So, like, that makes sense why he would be good at the log. But if you can't just think, I'm just thinking about the log. Like, you have to think, what if it's an Olympic lift? What if it's a
Well,
what if
I
it's a squat?
thought
What if it's a deadlift?
it might be. I
What if
thought
it's
it
an odd
might be
object?
like an Atlas stone. Like, so I think of weird stuff, and when I think of weird
Atlas
stuff,
Stone,
okay,
I'm going to take Jason Hopper. I'm going to take a big guy.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm not
My
taking
next two
Chandler
picks,
or
my
Tudor.
next two picks are Hopper and Fikowski for that reason. I like big guys for Rogue. The bigger you are, the better, especially on strength events to me. But I think that they're going to push in that direction. Bias. She's biased. I think that they're
I did
going
not
to
know
push.
who that was until you said biased. And then I figured it out. Okay,
I
so
think
like
they're
if you
gonna
want to
push in
take
the weird
odd
direction.
object strength, if we want to differentiate odd object strength versus Olympic lifting strength or weightlifting strength, I will buy into Tudor's might not be the number one guy. But if we're talking about who to put for the Heat 1 app when we have no idea, I'm just going to pick the strongest dude, right? And the strongest guy is Tudor Magda, right? That's the rationale. And like,
Yep.
and you bring up odd object and then you go with Adler. That's
I
a
know.
hypocritical
Well,
thing.
so you called me on my own shit there. That's fair. I don't know. I weighed him a little heavy because of this year. He does well in strength events, but technical strength events, so that's fair. But yeah, when it comes to the other guys, I definitely like Hopper and Fikowski. Fikowski, regardless, because I think Fikowski's a good lifter as well.
Mhm.
So
my number 2 is Adler. Okay, so like I'm not mad about Adler.
all that for inches.
Well, no, it's not inches because you don't have Tudor on your map. That's the problem. It's freaking 3 football fields because he's not on your map. Victor Hopper isn't good at gymnastics at all, I guess. You see what I'm saying?
See, I do all this math.
There's specialists in here for a reason. We're supposed to give the people specialists, not just the fittest guys. That's why you don't do good on your own app. Tyler.
Wait till you see his women's version. It's gonna be Tia number 1, 2, and 3.
Oh man!
Every time. Listen, if you're listening to my picks, it's the best with people's with Tyler's bias about the people who he has problems with. So there you go.
Who do you have number 2, Brent Smith?
I have Adler.
Okay, so me and you are in agreement.
Yep.
Okay. My number 3 is Hopper for everything that you said. Tyler. Spin?
I had Chandler because of the odd object piece of it, but I do like Hopper when you think about a more well-rounded version of lifting.
We're assuming Hopper comes back into normal Hopper, I think, right?
Yeah, yes. One would hope. I don't know what I don't want to get in that argument. If he sucks again, then I'm probably off the chain. If he's great again, then I'm probably on the chain.
Bird, throw him away.
Yeah. I also have like my next tier, and I know you guys are done, but like I had
honorable mentions.
Yes, I had a tie between Fikowski, Vellner, and Travis Mayer. Because I think all 3 of those guys are good lifters. They're kind of people who don't make mistakes. They're always going to in a lifting.
Who'd you say?
In a lifting event.
Who'd you say?
Mayer,
Fikowski,
and Fikowski.
But our entire episode was you talking about how Travis screwed up, not making mistakes.
Well, he's gonna have some. It's gonna be in pounds this time, so it's different.
No,
it's easy. Okay, yeah.
I'm saying like they don't miss lifts, is what I'm saying. Like if there's never something where like they do way worse than we thought they were going to do. They usually always end up where we think they're going to end up. I'm talking about like Vellner is always probably pretty good for 340 to 350, and he's always probably good for 285. Brent is always pretty good for like 290 to 300 and then 340, 350 on the clean and jerk. Like they always do that. And they usually, like, I don't remember a time where they made mistakes and they missed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they almost did this at the games, but they also hit their second lift. So
yes,
saved it.
Yes, they almost did. Right. Bukowski for sure. And then I have Chandler and Dallin as a tie for 5th. Just simply, I think they'll be the best at the odd object stuff.
Yeah. Women.
So monostructural?
Yep, monostructural.
Okay. Again, I weighted machines and running together. So when Brian says Emily is the best in monostructural events, it is just running, and that doesn't make any sense.
Didn't do that.
Okay. Well, then why did you do that for the men?
I didn't do it just for the men.
Okay. I don't want to get into it. I have just for monostructural, I have Tia as first.
See, I imposed my own rule. I didn't want to pick Tia on each thing.
What
I
if
called it.
What if she's the best on everything?
I didn't even include her in monostructural. I know that she is, but it just felt, you know what I mean? It felt so cheap. Because then it's like, okay, if you are watching, you are a fan, you are going to be on Heat 1 playing. You can only play her twice.
Well, that's what the other 2 to 5 is for.
5 for you, but just 2 for me and Spin.
Well, I mean, that's what the other people are for. Right.
Okay.
Tia is my first pick.
It's fine.
Yep.
Tia's your first pick. Spin.
Who would be your first pick, Tyler, if you included Tia?
If I included Tia?
Yeah. Well, then just have the top 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian?
No, Tia.
Spin.
Tia.
Okay. It's for we're all in agreement. If she's what she was, like, no, she's not going to beat Laura in any of the machines, but she'll be 3rd place on the machines, and she'll be 1st place on the run, if not 2nd behind it. Like Emily might get her. Okay.
Number two.
Number 2, I have Gabby Magawa. No comment.
No. I found the women's side, I think it was a little bit more difficult on this one.
It was. I agree.
I like Alexis Raptis. I think she's kind of in the middle of the pack in a lot of it, but I think she'll never do poorly on it.
Okay.
Rolf for number 2.
Okay. I don't even want to approach Alexis Raptis, Brian.
I can't. I can't. How do you justify that?
Yeah, how do you justify that?
What?
How did she do in
Rolf?
the 5K?
Who?
She
Alexis?
wasn't bad at the 5K at all, right? She was good at the 5K.
Raptis. She didn't do bad. It's just.
But where was she?
When you're comparing her, to Rolf, I don't.
In any way, is she better than Emma Lawson?
So
agreed.
Alexis got 3rd in Helena, which was.
I don't care. That's a gymnastics work.
And she got. And
what
she
did
got
she
4th.
get on the 5K?
She got 4th.
Okay.
4th.
Who was ahead of her?
Who was ahead of her? Emily Rolfe.
Okay.
Fine. Agree. She's a great runner. Katrin David's daughter, not competing.
Okay.
And Ariel.
And Ariel Lowen?
Yeah.
I didn't know Ariel did that good in the 5K. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
And where was Emma Lawson?
In the 5K, Emma Lawson, you're not going to like this one. She was, 7th.
Okay, so let's say Alexis is a better runner than Emma Lawson. I don't think she is. I think on her trail run, I'll take Emma Lawson all day. But let's say Alexis has her a little bit. I don't think there's one machine that Alexis can beat Emma at. And like you saw, like in the rowing intervals workout, like you see on sprints, Emma's got her for sure, like by a lot. Like I don't. And if you think anybody's better than Emma Lawson on this monostructural thing, there's no way you could put Alexis Raptis above them, because Emma is like. There's so much evidence that shows Emma's better monostructurally. If you take all of it, better than Alexis Raptis.
I can't disagree. Emma's my 3rd pick if you include Tia.
She's
2nd
my
if you don't.
She's my third. I mean, I have her up there. I just didn't have her second.
Why? So I guess the question is, so John, who's your third?
Emma Lawson.
Emma Lawson. So Rolf, I'm guessing, is in your top 5.
She's fifth.
Fifth.
And then I have Laura fourth. Because in every single machine, Laura's going to win. Laura is first place in every single machine there is. And then Laura is middle of the pack running. Emily is not middle of the pack in every single machine. Emily doesn't have power output. She just has
that's the true distinction here is I pick Rolf a little high, I think, probably, based on what you're saying. Yeah. I'm not putting Alexis over Emma, but I could be persuaded to move Alexis higher.
Where would you have Alex? Oh,
I didn't rank her.
You'd have her fifth.
Probably fifth or sixth or something like that. But yeah, she's definitely top 8, top 7. But
to have her second, I just don't think she's shown anything that says she's the second best engine. She has the second best engine in the whole field. You really think that,
especially
Brian?
not.
What was that?
You really think that Alexis Raptis has the second best engine?
I think, again, if you were going to say that if you don't know what's going to happen and you just say monostructural, I'm going to pick Alexis up there.
Over everybody else that we've said?
Again, like Laura moves machines, but I'm not going to pick her running, right? So.
You'd pick her over Bethany running?
Bethany's close, but I wouldn't put her on the machines.
Okay.
Well, I forgot about Bethany.
Now you're going back and forth. All right.
Right. So
okay. Go what?
Danielle, she's up there. Again, I think the monostructural for women is a lot tougher. I think there's probably 6 or 7 that all have, depending on what it is, can be in that top 3.
Yeah.
And so it just depends on how you think Rogue is going to test it and what they've done historically and how they may shake out.
You want to do gymnastics before we do weightlifting?
Yeah, same order.
Yeah.
He just wants to talk good about Alexis Raptis. He just dogged her, and now he's like, I can't talk that bad about her. I have to.
Yeah, it's certain. We gotta get this out.
I have to talk good about her. All right, my number 1 for gymnastics is Emma Lawson.
Same.
Raptis. Duh. I'm a little thrown off that. Okay, maybe I'm not a little thrown off that Emma Lawson's in your top, but okay. So is Tia in your top 3 at all?
Yes.
For either of you? Okay.
Not for me.
She's my third.
Third. She's second for me.
Raptis is second for me.
Okay.
And then I have Alex Kazan is fourth. And then Ariel Lowen is fifth.
Lowen is third for me. So it's Raptis, Tia, Lowen.
I rank if I think Ariel actually should be like the pick. If it's just a gymnastics squad in a nutshell.
It's very gymnastics specific.
And you have no idea what it is, and it's just I have no idea who to pick. I'm just gonna pick because Ariel Lowen doesn't have any holes. She's gonna be good at it all. She just doesn't have. She just might not be that home run hitter. I think if it's anything pulling, especially with rope climbs, Alex Kazan, Emma Tall, got to remember that girl. But Alex Kazan is the best in this field.
Emma's not competing.
No. I know.
So,
but she was good. We have to keep her in our heads because we did not know about that.
No, yeah.
I just don't want to forget that for the future. I don't put things in Excel sheets the way you guys do. I just have to keep repeating it.
May not want to look at Tyler's spreadsheets.
Yeah, mine's full of aggravation.
And then Alexis is the best at handstand push-ups, right? She is the handstand push-up queen. She has that ability. If there's handstand push-ups, Alexis Raptis should be the pick, and there should be nobody else. That
muscle ups too.
Yep. I put Emma ahead of her on muscle ups. And then Tia is such a wild card because we know nothing about her, but Tia's good at it all. There's nothing Tia's bad at. She used to be bad at handstand walking. She's not anymore. Tia's good at everything. But obviously, that's
Question.
a cop-out answer.
If Tia takes a hit on any one of these three things, monostructural, weightlifting, or gymnastics, which one are you discounting her in?
Like where I don't think she'll.
Which
be
one do you
able-
think she would have taken a hit
Which is
in
her
this-
slowest recovery or bounce back?
Right,
Weightlifting.
yeah. You
Weightlifting.
think? I don't know, dude. Your hormones go nuts. You start getting testosterone boosts and all kinds of stuff. Oh, I've stumped John
Yeah.
here. This is interesting.
I don't know. I feel like muscle comes back fast once you've been there before. It's really hard to get there, but like if you take a
Once
break
you're
and
there.
you come back, it comes back fast.
But do you think it's as
Fast as
back
cardio.
to where? Yeah.
I like cardio wise, like I feel like she
Like-
might have been at such a peak that like it's hard to get back to. Like it takes pain to get there. You know what I mean? Going into dark places. It's not.
Mm,
That might not be as easy.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
if
mean,
she ever left.
I definitely have more of a running background than weightlifting, and it doesn't take me long to get back
To
into.
get back into shape.
Running shape. Mm-hmm.
Gymnastics is just moving. I don't think
To me, it would be the gymnastics because, like
Annie's
it's like
not
going
any
through.
weaker. You know,
No,
like I'm
but,
trying
like-
to think about what.
Yeah,
what-
I'm just-
what
I'm
would
just
they
thinking-
worse at?
I'm just saying 5 months after pregnancy, right? Like how long has she had to actually really push the top end strength?
I think I'd
That's
probably
all.
agree with Tyler then. I think if like 5 months, like she probably not as peak strength.
Oh, I said
Yeah,
gymnastics.
you agree with me.
I thought you
Did
said
you
strength. Brian? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably say
Yeah.
I'd probably say strength then. I don't think she's
Did
clean
you
jerking
listen-
270 5 months after being pregnant.
Did you listen to the Training Think Tank podcast with the moms who they were talking about coming back from pregnancy? That was their thing. They were like, it just felt like I was in a different body. Gymnastics felt weird. They both said that they did better in strength in a lot of ways. They said their positions were better. I think
in
the
that
off,
time frame, or like a year later.
in that time frame.
Okay.
I mean, they had to work back into it, but like, let's say 6 months. I think that they all said that they had better positions in a lot of ways. But gymnastics, it's like going through puberty in a different way. It's like, when you go through puberty, it's like you don't know, like you're too tall all of a sudden, and you don't know like where you're. I mean, Spin had to go through this. This dude's like,
I think that stuff comes back fast though.
you think
if
so?
if you've been there before, puberty, you've never been there before. Like it's like, why is my
she's-
body so different? And like her body,
but she's
been there
never-
before.
Yeah, fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to mess with your perception a little bit. And so I'm going to say gymnastics, but I mean, this is just shooting a.
By the way, I want to say
Wild guess.
real quick, when we're talking about Tia, I hate it when we get comments like 3 guys talking about a pregnant woman. We don't know. We have no idea what we're talking about. When it comes to
Exactly.
Tia.
About anything.
We don't know. So like this is just what we think will happen, but we have no idea. Okay.
No, but
That's
we
why
know, like,
Tia is
if you
such a
took-
hard subject.
But if you took 6 months off from lifting heavy and then tried to bounce back in 2 months, would you get back to where you were before?
I don't think so. But I think I'd be close. I don't think it would take that much to get close. But I'd not peak. No, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I have.
I feel great, Milcieli. I feel good as new, ready to rock. She was at the.
I had Alexis second and Ariel third.
Okay, so we agree
Okay.
on 1 and 2, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Man, we've been
Yeah.
on a roll
And-
lately. I
I
started
mean,
off with Tyler.
the thing
now-
with Rogue is, have they ever done handstand walks? I can't remember if they did in
JR.
19, but I don't think they have in the last 3.
That's a great point.
JR would know.
They always do a very hard handstand push-up variation.
Right. So
That's a great point.
right.
Well,
like,
being on that field, it's going to be a weird. But I mean, we walked across the handstand. We did a handstand walk across the field.
JR
I think.
said
Yeah.
never.
Look,
They've
never.
had it. There you go.
That would be a good
So-
one this year.
so
Then
that's
I
where,
hope we
like,
see it.
that's where like Danielle Brandon would be good, but that never gets tested, right? Like
How much
that's where
are
Danny
every-
Spiegel excels at Rogue because it's always some difficult handstand push-up, and she does well on those.
And she can do those.
What if They don't. What if handstand push-ups don't show up? Handstand walks
They're
show up
going
for the
to.
first time.
They're not. It's not.
Laura,
And Laura
wins.
Laura gets bailed
No
out
one will
again.
ever shut up about it. It'd be.
I so listen. If that happens, I'm gonna be like, Boz, if you don't program handstand push-ups in some capacity, y'all it is rigged for Laura. Y'all want Tia to leave. No.
Well, if
that won't
Josh
happen.
if Josh is involved in programming, it's got to be handstand push-ups. Has to
It
be.
used to be
I mean,
Josh
he's-
and Spieler, right? I mean, they're
Yeah,
both
now it's
handstand
Josh
push-up
and Dan.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan
Yeah.
Bailey loves handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
While facing handstand push-ups.
Yep.
It's in the qualifiers. Yep.
Facing was in qualifier, so maybe
JR, save
with the
this for
echo
next
crack.
week, unless it's just crashed the whole episode, is it?
no, we'll bring in some Rogue to next week too.
Right.
Awesome.
And weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
All right.
Like, are we gonna do 1, 2,
Everybody-
3?
Okay, listen. I actually think this is going to be very different. I know.
I think
Tyler-
it's going to be
I know
fun.
Tyler's not going to pick the right person. I don't know if you will.
Fuck you.
I don't know if you're going to pick the right person, Spin, but this is very difficult. The weightlifting one was very difficult for me. Okay. But I feel good.
It was.
about my
I thought it
answer.
was the most fun. I thought it
I
was
feel
the
good
most
about
fun.
my answer. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. You want me to go first? Or you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Laura Horvath is the best weightlifter in this field.
Laura Horvat.
Oh, wow, Tyler. Good job. Good on you.
I'm
man.
picking the latest person to block me, and that's Danny Spiegel.
Danny Spiegel blocked you. Why did she block
did.
you?
No idea.
That she blocked
He's
me.
friends with.
No idea.
Guys who
Yeah.
blocked me. These people don't know about me. I'm like, I never get blocked. By
I
anyone.
didn't do anything.
You have a
I hope
podcast,
she did block
man.
you.
I have a
What's
podcast.
funny? I bet you have a podcast, right, Spin? I bet I have said something bad on your podcast.
And it got
about
around that.
Spiegel, and then she just hears it's on the Spins podcast and it blocks you.
You mean Stifler's mom?
Yes. I can't see what she's doing on Instagram these days. So
I don't mind the Spiegel kick.
I don't know if
yeah. I have Horvath second.
I think Spiegel can snatch more than Laura, but after that, I don't think there's anything she can do bigger than Laura, like that I have seen. I've seen Laura squat 315 for 3, which means her max is probably 345, 350.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her do that. And maybe she can. If she can,
Yeah.
like, then I'm wrong. But, like, I haven't seen it, right? Clean and jerk, Laura's done 270. Have you seen Spiegel do more than that?
No, she did Rogue. She did 250, or at Wodapalooza, she only did like 250 or something like that.
That's
Just
what
to
I'm
be,
saying.
it wasn't
Now,
a runner at max, but
Right.
she was working on being able to hit weights consistently versus going all out. But yeah, we've not seen that weight.
Now, odd object, I actually think Spiegel is better, but I just think I think snatching. And if you're gonna pick somebody like in this, you probably pick Spiegel because she's not good at anything else, right? Like so, like this is her event. She's gonna get second or first for sure,
And
then that's-
handstand push-ups.
she's not gonna get second or first in handstand push-ups though.
She won the handstand push-up workout last year at Rogue.
With this snatch. What was the workout?
Oh, what was it? It was handstand push-ups and dumbbell snatches or something like
The
that.
heavy dumbbell snatches, the 100-pound dumbbell snatches that they had to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that had something to do with it, Ryan.
You think?
Yes, I do.
But she went and she crushed that. I mean, she crushed those workouts. So
She did. No,
I mean,
she's
I
not a
hear
bad
ya.
pick for the handstand push-ups, but like I would pick her for the strength event before I pick her for the handstand push-up event. There are better girls
But
with handstand push-ups than her.
Well, more
She's pretty
sure
good, though.
picks. Because I think with the handstand push-ups, it matters what it's paired with.
100%.
Like you said, with
Yeah.
the snatches, heavy dumbbell snatch definitely makes sense. But if it's like, something faster or more enduring, it's not going to make sense.
Yeah. Yes. Handstand
Yeah.
push-ups and assault bike. I mean, she's
Maybe.
not a bad.
yeah,
pick,
it was
but-
the 20 dumbbell
Yeah.
snatch, 3 rounds of 20 dumbbell snatch and 9 parallel handstand push-up deficit parallel strict handstand push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hopper won that by a lot, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
2. Who's number 2?
Laura.
That's fine. I have no
So
problem.
your
with
first
that.
was Danny.
I have no
Well,
problem
yeah,
with
if you're
that.
gonna pick Danny, Lord.
I have no problem with that. I have a
Tia's my
tie between
2.
Tia and Spiegel. I don't know why. I think Spiegel probably should be second. Stifler.
7 is man check.
Hey,
So Lily from
who am
How I
I in
Met
this
Your Mother?
American Pie series? Hiller. I almost said Stifler. Can you name the 3 of us, Hiller? Hey, 3 of us. Who are our characters in American Pie?
See, we're gonna have to.
I
I'm gonna have to
Tia and
watch American
Spiegel.
Pie
I have
now.
a tie between Tia and Spiegel. Tia's deadlift is vicious. Like something like the mule where it's just deadlifts and burpee pull-ups. Like I take her over Spiegel in that. I don't like that. I don't care for that at all. I don't care for that at all.
That's the greatest joke of all time.
I do agree. I do agree with Chase's. Do you, Tyler?
I don't know who Finch is. I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
Pie from American Pie, but I don't know who Finch is.
Cool hip check. I'll take that. I get married in the end.
I'm watching this tonight. I've never seen American Pie.
You've
so
never
I'm gonna
seen
have to watch
American
it.
Pie?
Never?
It's somehow
Oh,
gotten
man.
past me.
It's been a very long
rough.
time.
That's rough.
Um,
It's almost as bad as picking Travis Mayer top 5. But go ahead.
Tia and Christine Collenbrander. Those are my next 2 picks.
I have
You don't
Christine
have
third.
Danny
Spiegel in your
Spiegel's-
top 3?
No,
Oh.
but
Dude,
if I
that's
don't
what
have
she
Tudor in my
does.
top 3, that makes sense,
Do
doesn't
you
it?
know how much pie Danny Spiegel's going to eat to win that strength event? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what she does. She doesn't make money.
It's
if she
over,
doesn't-
man.
If she doesn't win the strength event, she doesn't make money. That's her brand. She
That's-
cares
It's
about
over.
her brand more than the competition.
That's what
I
launched her Girls Who Eat shirt.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it
So-
past her to be 185 pounds. Like
You heard it here first, folks. The sun has set on Danny Spiegel's career.
that's what you're saying, Tyler.
All right, Hiller. John.
Now I
you're
have to
Oz.
look this up.
I'm Jim's dad. And
I
Tyler
can
is
see that
Kevin.
too. Who do you have third, Brian?
I had Christine Collenbrander.
Brander.
Yep. Yeah. I'm glad she made it because it'll
I
make
am
that
too.
interesting.
Gosh, the strength battle on the women's side
That'd be a good one.
is legit. You got Karn Freyova too. Karn Freyova is really strong. Karn and Collenbrander I'd put beneath Laura, but Laura and Spiegel, and then Tia just plays wild card. The strength battle for the women is going to be really, really fun, whatever workout that ends up being, because it's all the heavy hitters. Is there anybody else that's super strong that we're missing?
I mean, depends on what it is, but Alex can be
If it's a bench press,
if it's bench
that'd be
press.
great.
And Manon is
No,
relatively strong.
no,
She's not going to
no.
win anything, but
I
she's
don't-
going
I
to.
don't
Maybe-
name those
hey,
people. I'm talking top
conspiracy
tier,
theory.
Brian. Don't name these people. Top tier. Alex Kazan in the bench press was fine, but I'm saying, are we missing anybody? Not in the rogue field. I'm saying in general in the
Oh.
world.
Oh, in the
Like you think of the strongest people. Who are we? I think they're all here.
I mean, if you wanted to say the absolute strongest, it's Christine Middleton.
Well,
Always been on
Brian,
team, but
you're naming
I mean, she could have gone for the qualifier. I'm just saying.
these unfit people.
I'm just saying.
I really need to make that conspiracy theory hat because Rogue could definitely go the powerlifting route since they do so much stuff for powerlifting.
And do a
In
sear
which
bell
case-
ladder, like where they lift it up, and then you got to jerk it up.
That's not powerlifting. And
The
then
strongman
Justin
route.
just so happens, I said powerlifting. Justin just so happens to have been prepping for a powerlifting meet. I'm calling it. The stars are aligning.
Yeah.
Conspiracy Tyler out.
He's not doing rogue though.
No, he's not. What?
Oh,
Well, there
One
goes
thing I do
that.
want to.
damn it. Disproved.
One thing I do
That's
want to bring
fake
up.
news.
If you ever follow Bill and Katie, one thing I've started to notice is Bill always posts the strongman stuff, and Katie seems to post the CrossFit stuff.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm just biased from what I've seen recently, but like Bill was posting the roller coaster last year.
Yeah.
He's posted the log, like whatever that's called, where you pick it up and kind of flip it over, a
The
fixed
Fingal
point.
fingers.
Yeah, whatever those are called. Yeah. And then this one, Katie posted with a 50-pound dumbbell next to the Sear dumbbells. So
Oh, Katie posted it.
Katie posted this one. And so the fact that it's next to a 50-pound dumbbell, obviously strongmen aren't using 50-pound dumbbells.
I like this theory. You think it's a ladder then? You think it's a speed ladder with sear and you go, it's just dumbbells?
However,
It
get it
could be.
overhead. However, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
My money's on Laura for that though. What do you think? No comment.
Big.
Laura would
not
be tough to
good.
beat. Laura would
It's
be
not-
tough to beat.
It's not good for. That's not good for Tia. Just
No.
because like
Too
these
small.
things, the bigger hands you have, the better it is just to grip it because it's so thick.
Yeah.
Maybe not though. If like you can two-hand it and then go up like the way they do,
Yeah,
then it wouldn't
but
be a grip thing.
But I like Chandler on this for the men.
I think somebody like Roman could be really good at this. If it's a weight that's not impossible, like
Yeah.
Roman seems like somebody who could just bum rush this. You know what I mean? He's got
Right.
Bum rush.
really good, really good power with certain events. Hold on. Hopper would be good at this. I like Chandler too on this.
Yeah, Hopper's hands
Magnus
are huge.
Holmgren, it'll kill one of the CrossFit people. That would be if they used the what was it, John? The log, the fingers things.
Fingal fingers.
Finger, yeah. That one. I think that would
Why
kill a
can't you- why
CrossFitter.
can't you say it?
Fingal
Uh,
fingers.
Yeah.
Fingal fingers.
Fingal fingers.
It's a
Fingal
strongman
fingers.
thing.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind when you start looking at
I don't know
when
if
you-
Victor
when you follow
Hoffer
Bill
can
and
lift
Katie.
up that dumbbell.
Man, we are an hour
Yeah.
and 40 minutes
know.
in,
I
and
know.
we are halfway through the show.
all right. We better
These
we better
next two
move
are gonna
on.
be like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of talked about this, but with Dave Castro bringing up 95% of the events will be held indoors. I know some people took that very literally, that said, oh, we're going to have 20 events and one's going to be outside. I think it more is like, hey, there's only probably going to be one out there. So obviously,
Will's comment was the best about that. If you do math on it, it's not even one. So
yeah. I mean, Dickey's is bigger. It's not as big as North Park. I mean, we talked about being inside all the time last week. I mean, does hearing that from Dave change your opinion or make you feel like, because he seemed really excited about this, right? Like this is going to be a great way to have it. And I'm struggling with it though.
it didn't change my opinion at all. Like I'm excited. I'm going to be in Austin or in Fort Worth, but I mean, like it's just going to be weird indoors.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think we could judge it until it happens.
I guess
Do
there's
they
something about that, the Coliseum or even the tennis stadium, where there was something more intimate about it, right? Like you were closer to the action for the most part. You don't have, like, if you're always watching something that's kind of like North Park, yes, there might be 14,000 people, but if you get one of the tickets that's on the wrong end, like it sucks if you're at North Park and you're at the start line. Like as they're going away from you and you're there the entire weekend, that would suck. Like at least North Park, you can go try to get the next, better seat the next day, or even possibly the next event when people move around. You know what you're getting at the Coliseum, but at least it's kind of closer. But being that big and that far away, if you're on the back corner watching them go run away from you the whole time, I'm just not sure that experience is going to be that great in person.
That's what I'm worried about.
And
I mean, we don't know what their capabilities are as far as manipulating the venue. Like, what can they put turf on the field? Is it going to be dirt? Like, how much can they manipulate? So, how far are you going to feel like? far is it going to feel when you're sitting in the stands?
Mhm. Yeah.
The Coliseum, man, you feel close to the athletes. You are close to the athletes.
You do,
So,
but it's not that much bigger than the Coliseum.
Yeah, I mean the Coliseum barely
It's-
fit
but
the
it-
basketball court. This thing is like 250 feet. It's double that.
Right.
So I mean, it is. I think it's significantly bigger. And this, the seats don't. There's only like, I don't know, 10, 20 rows per like level. It's just that it's so big around that it fits that many people. Versus the Coliseum just kept going up and up and up. So
Chase is in the comments here. It was easy to walk around the stadium. Like I would go say something to him, and so it was easy to like run up and run all like to the other side of the Coliseum and like talk to him and then run back down to my seat. That's going to be impossible now.
it is much.
Like I'll see you in 10 minutes.
It's much closer to a football field than it is, I think, the Coliseum.
Right.
And I mean, I think there's going to be definitely plenty of great seats there. I'm just saying that if you're at the start line and you're watching them run away from you towards the finish, you're going to be doing what Clock does and just watching the giant TV screen hanging down, which I'm not sure if that's why you're going there for it. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. We're still waiting for information on all the other groups and what the format's actually going to be on over 4 days. I had a thought that maybe they put the age groups and stuff in one of those other pavilions or other arenas next to it. But you go look at the website and there's nothing in like the Will Rogers Memorial thing for CrossFit outside of Dickies. So it's been over a week. They said it was going to be a string of announcements. Hopefully we hear more on that here soon. But for now, I'm not a huge fan of it all indoors, but TBD. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to Squataroo. Have you guys seen the Rogue challenge for the
Did
Squataroo?
Townsend win this?
He did. So for those who aren't familiar, Rogue had a Squataroo challenge. So basically it was you had 5 minutes to do as many unbroken bodyweight back squats. And then immediately after that, you had 3 attempts within 3 30-second windows. So 3, attempt per 30 seconds to do a broad jump. And every rep of your back squat added 1/2 inch to the longest measured broad jump. And we'll go to the men's side first. James Townsend jumped 140 inches. Freaking wild. But
if you sort by distance, is it even close? You can't. Oh yeah,
You can.
Yeah, I mean somebody.
Oh
No, the answer is no. 19
No.
inches. He jumped a foot and 9 inches. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it was
Foot and 8 inches.
wild. It was wild. So let's see.
What is 3,937 divided?
Incorrect input. What is it?
Entry.
11 foot 8? 11 foot 8? Is that what the broad jump is?
Yeah.
To put that in perspective, I'm pretty sure the NFL record is not far off of that.
Yeah. So what James did though is he only squatted for the first minute. And then he I don't know what's going on with the video.
Did he play the score? He played the scoring system.
Well, he knew he could jump real far.
He knew he could jump farther than anybody else. So he rested 4 minutes. And then he jumps. Where is it? Come on, James.
Quit taking your time. Gosh, dang it, James. Just jump.
Just one jump.
And then he has to mark it himself.
I think he went a lot further than that.
No, that was the only one. So he misstepped a couple times.
But
But
11.8 is what he did. The NFL record is 12'3".
yeah,
Think about it.
Jeez.
which is pretty wild. But on
How
the
old is,
leaderboard, that was actually probably not the most impressive.
What, did Colton Mertens get 100 squats with 180 with? There he is. There
Yeah.
that man is.
Our man Colton.
How many reps did he do? Did he get 100?
Most people have no clue that in 2020.
Oh, good.
No clue.
So Colton weighs all of his stuff. He gets in here.
Go.
He squats for an entire 5 minutes.
Never puts it down.
Never puts it down for 5 minutes.
What a champ.
He got 100 and what was it? 116.
That is insane.
116 reps.
116 without putting the squat with 185
Yeah.
without putting it down. That's so
Unbelievable. I
nuts.
mean, just kept going and going and going. Now we won't
And
talk
then
about
he
his
jumped
jump.
0 inches after that. 1 inch.
Yeah, after doing that many squats.
Let me see his jump. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So he just finished up 20 seconds ago. And here we go.
He's got me like, you're still freaking
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So James would have been out to here.
Right.
Like I think these are probably what 4-foot stripes.
Yeah, something
So-
like that. He did 1.5, or 1.5.
That was probably about
maybe.
6.
Well, it's
yeah,
on the
probably
thing.
about 6 feet.
What does this thing say?
He ended up getting 85 inches. So, almost
12 times 7 is 84. 7
Yeah.
1. 7
Yeah.
foot 1.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is James would have been out here. I would love to see him jump side by
Listen,
side.
I know James.
I would
won
like
this
to see him-
challenge. I think Colton Mertens is more impressive than James in this. That 116 reps with 185. I'm way more impressed by that.
How much farther do you think he's jumping if he only does like 24 reps or whatever, like James did?
1 foot.
You like,
Yeah,
eh,
it's-
I don't think it's
Yep.
much farther.
But I
Yeah.
mean, what was in the total distance, the total score, how did it?
So he did 116. It's half an inch. So that'd be 58. You had 58 inches to 7 foot 1. Almost 5 foot. So that'd be 12 foot 1. 11 foot 11 is what he did. 11 foot 11. If you count all that up, James almost did
Yeah.
that. In
So
1
Colton
Just with
ended
his
up
jump.
with 143 inches. So he was
11 foot 11.
8.5 inches shorter. So if he would have gotten a foot, he would have had to jump the same amount. So if you did Z score,
Dang,
Townsend
some dude
wins
did
easily.
105 reps too.
I'm gonna,
Gosh.
yeah, I'm gonna do that.
This looks
Just pull
fun when I
that
saw this challenge. I thought about doing it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do it. Seeing these, I don't know. I jump pretty far, but I'm not trying to do 100 reps of anything.
No, I mean,
Nothing. I'd like
I
to
mean-
do it just to see how I do.
I mean, I can't imagine just doing 100 air squats and then going straight into a broad
max
jump.
jump.
Like how bad that would be compared to what you could actually do as a max, and then do 116 at 185 pounds would be insane. So I thought it was a pretty cool challenge that that Rogue didn't really get a whole lot of publicity, right? Like it's like,
No.
here it is. I saw James post it, and then somehow I ran across Colton doing it, and went and looked at the leaderboard and was like, wow, 116 reps. Okay.
I hope they gave separate money for people who squatted the most and people who jumped the furthest. Like now, I know they don't get all the money, but you can give them $1,000
Let's give him a
You
little
know.
bit.
for the people
Yeah.
who did the most.
So the person who got the most unbroken back squat reps gets a custom barbell,
Oh, there you go.
and then the overall winner walks away with $2,500. So Colton will get a custom Ohio barbell. So should get your gym to sign up.
Unless somebody did
Get
more
a free
reps.
gym.
Did somebody do more reps?
Oh, he did not. Oh, you're right. You're right. He did not actually get the most. There was one that did 117.
Well, here,
Damn. So he did all that work for nothing.
Vincent Butita.
I wish they had their weight in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the women's
Yeah,
side,
Vincent weighs 120.
Still 100 and whatever reps at 120. It
I'm
doesn't.
just kidding.
Yep. On the women's side, I think Marissa Flowers is going to end up winning. Susan Plackey has 1,164 inches as her jump, but Marissa
really
Flowers did 111 reps at probably like 98 pounds body weight or something like that. But she had a 93-inch broad jump, which was more than Colton.
Dang.
So. Yeah.
That's really good. Or Colton's really bad. I don't know which one.
I mean,
I'm gonna say it's really good.
I mean, she's so much trash to Colton if I was Marissa and I beat him. And he can't claim height. She's
4'11".
Him, way little, yeah.
Yeah, she's 4'11". Mason Mitchell. I saw Watkins at the beach brawl. He looks kind of fit.
I'm mediocre fit. That's why I do team.
Travis Colton just announced his sponsorship with Hero Barbell, so he does not need a Rogue barbell. That is true. And John, better watch out. You're gonna see Colton in a couple weeks.
I will say whatever I please, Travis.
That's been made apparent.
That's my. I am I'm an honest man, good or bad.
Just say how it is.
Yeah.
Right. And then you say how it is, and then I get blocked.
And then, no, I love it when people prove me wrong. It's awesome.
Yep.
You know.
All right, guys. That was
2 hours.
We almost made 2 hours tonight. Anyway, if you're still on, go ahead, go to vindicate.com, use code SPIN, save 15%. There are some extra shirts still left from the barbell spin. So Travis will get that up here on the site soon. So if you'd missed the pre-sale, there are some leftovers out there. So go check those out. And for those who are interested in supporting some veterans, did write an article out there. Valor Fit and Proven are partnering together for a little bit of a donation type thing to support Valor Fit and everything that they are doing. So, if you're part of an affiliate, maybe talk to the gym owner and do something to kind of raise some money. You get some entries into it and you can win a prize package. 2 of them will be given away with some Proven stuff, bike erg, stuff like that. But I met Troy visiting CrossFit East Nashville earlier this season. Very cool guy. And what they're doing is really good with supporting the veterans, getting them back on track when they come back into civilian life. So check that out. There's an article out on the barbell spin. You can also go to Proven Fitness or Valor Fit and get more information on that. But definitely, if you can, try to earn some money for that and donate to a good cause. So other than that, next week we're talking Crash Crucible. J.R. will be joining us to give some information on it and get some details, and we'll make our picks on who we think will stand atop the podium next month. Until
you can
then,
make your picks too on Heat One app next week.
Talk events too, because a couple of them are announced.
They're coming out. Quite a few team events. The individual ones are coming out, and it's pretty cool. Can kind of relive the past of old CrossFit Games events and regional events. So until next week, bye-bye.